Hey guys, what is up? My name is Shane and welcome. Today we're going to be putting all the accessories and everything all back together here in the engine bay in order to fire this motor up. So we got all kinds of stuff to do. I got a brand new radiator here. It's electric fans, so that has to be wired up. Everything has to go back in. The motor has to be finished, get finished putting back together basically. I still need a bunch of things on that. And so yeah, a lot of work, a lot of little things. They're quick little things, but they're little things. So we're gonna get started with this. I got the headers on and the grounding cable. I've got the ground going to the frame right here. Got my new terminal connectors here that I had just put on here. They're easily removable here. They've just got a clamp on them, so I like those because I can take them off without a screwdriver and stuff. So if I wanted to disconnect the battery or something like that, a lot easier. And I got the lifters in. They're all in there. I gotta get this. See how it's spiraled gears? It fits into the camshaft gear right there, which is on the camshaft, so it's this direction. And this basically puts that force down. It turns at 90 degrees basically, and it just uses the camshaft to turn the distributor. So this is what that looks like. So we're gonna put it in there and see where I gotta turn it, because I want, it's a little hard to see, there's a notch in there, and I want the notch facing number one cylinder over here. If you can see down in there, it's gonna show it, the distributor gear. That shaft runs all the way down to drive the oil pump as well, and distributor is gonna fit right in there like that. It's pointing towards number one right there. So I'm gonna do the oil next. I gotta put the oil filter on and fill the thing with oil, and I also have to put my new dipstick on, and that goes, there's a hole down there, and the dipstick goes in the hole. So we're gonna grab some oil. Some people say you don't have to fill the filter, but that's how I learned it. And oh, we gotta oil up the ring. Alright, so I got the oil filter on. I'm gonna put the dipstick in now. If I could find it. Where is it? Here it is. So I just put some oil in. I'm waiting for that to go down into the pan. So I'm gonna put these push rods in, and then I'll do the rocker shafts, and then I think I can do the intake. You know, it is always a lot of fun when you're putting together a motor like this with the intake off and you accidentally drop something, whether it's down in here or down in there. That's really bad. You drop, say, a washer or a bolt or something. Luckily I didn't do that this time, but I've done that before, and it makes this process a whole lot longer and very frustrating. So it's very important that I try not to drop anything with oily hands. We are right in between add line and the full line, so perfect. Now I think it's ready for the intake. We can throw the intake and carburetor, which is over there on top of the filing cabinet. I've actually got to clean the surface. Well, actually right here is fine. Like right back there you can see the gasket maker, so I got to clean it up a little bit. This is an aftermarket dual plane intake. I'm just trying to see, I think it was Speedmaster brand, and then I got a Holley 650 Demon double pumper. It might need a good cleaning since there was gas sitting in it. Just gonna put it on for now so I can drive the thing around a little bit, test it out, and make sure there's no other problems. So got it all cleaned up, and while I was under there, I did actually see it says Speedmaster on it. So it is a Speedmaster dual plane intake manifold, and I did paint it black. And then I do have a 1-inch 1 inch, 1.5 inch riser on there. Manifold gaskets. I've got the silicone going along the edges. I like to put a lot of silicone in these corners because this is the coolant ducts right here, and there's 2 over there. Those 2 don't do anything on this manifold. These 2 do though, and the water likes to try to leak from the edges here, so and it could leak potentially into here and get water in your oil and all that other stuff. So the intake is now on there, carburetor's on there, springs hooked up, everything's bolted down, distributor's in right there. I'll put the valve covers on and then I can do the spark plugs, spark plug wires, route them and everything. There are the beauties right there. They need a little bit better cleaning. So these are not the best, not the prettiest weld jobbed here, but these are some Amazon specials. I actually took the paint that I painted my car with, which is Rust-Oleum Sunrise Red, I believe it's called. I had a can of it. This is the exact stuff that the car is painted with, and the valve covers. Gloss Sunrise Red. And they were just brushed on, actually, and you can probably see that. But it's an oil-based paint, and I brushed it on pretty thick, so they actually have been holding up pretty well. If you're ever gonna buy valve covers like this off of Amazon, you've gotta get new bolts, because these things break really easily. I actually broke the one off. That's why I'm using this. If you have any older car, you've got to get these rubber. They're rubber with a metal core valve cover gaskets. You don't use any kind of sealant or anything, and they work really well. They seal really well. I think it looks pretty good with the fenders here and there, and then the valve covers. I think it looks pretty cool. Kind of reminds me of a Viper. That's what it is. I think the Viper has obviously the V12, and I think those valve covers are red like that. And I think actually Corvettes are too. I'm not positive, but that's what it reminds me of. I think it looks pretty cool. So I gotta put the coil on, and then I gotta wire all that back up. I think this is one of the wires. And I gotta put the plugs on, make sure that they are, the firing order is correct. I had to pull out the old book for the car. It's a very useful book if you got a car like this. You got to get one of these books. It will tell you all kinds of stuff here: rear axle, front suspension, engine, electrical. You got wiring diagrams, you got body and frame. Everything how it's supposed to be is in this book, how it was originally. So it's a nice thing to have. Mine's kind of falling apart. I am actually looking for the wiring diagram for the engine bay so that I can see exactly which wires go to the coil, so I can make sure. Plug wires are on there, coils on there, distributors in there. Zip tied all the wires. I got the belts on, alternator on, and then power steering pump. I actually just converted this. It was manual steering. I put power steering, and I put a Borgeson closer ratio steering box in there, and then I put the power steering pump in there, and I actually had to fabricate this top bracket, which is an adjustable one, and then that other one down there, it holds it. So it holds it pretty good. Batteries in there, got that clamped on there. These things are okay. They feel a little cheap. I'm gonna put the fuel line on, and then I can put the radiator in the car. Alright, well, radiator's in there. Looking good. Looking real good. We got the upper hose on there, the lower hose, radiator hoses, the heater hoses, the cross hose for the water pump, the radiator, still got to do that. I got to run the wire from the little relay here over to the temperature switch, and I got to run it to the key. So yeah, it's all ready to go. I got to fill it with coolant too, but other than that, it's done. It's ready to go. So yeah, check out the next video.